I am at Storrier Stearns Japanese Gardens in Pasadena with 2 koi ponds, plenty of bridges that cross them, winding paths, a waterfall, and a tea house. This is how the leisurely rich lived in the early 20th century. Let's take a look around. In the early 20th century, Americans were kind of obsessed with the Japanese garden look, and the Storrier Stearns were a wealthy couple who also loved to travel, and they both had a love of Japanese gardens. So they brought their Japanese garden here to Pasadena. Kensuke Fuji was born in Japan in 1875, and he immigrated to the United States in 1903 when he was 28 years old. Yeah, 28. He worked in the Pasadena area as a master gardener, and he was hired by the Storrier Stearns to build this in the early 1930s. Of all of the gardens he built in this area, this is the only one that still remains. Fuji spent 7 years working on the gardens. It was his masterpiece. He wrote, "I am possessed of an ambition to leave a real, uncompromising Japanese garden in the United States." But in 1942, just before the garden was completed, World War II started. All Japanese immigrants, including Fuji, were sent to internment camps. The final phase of the garden was completed by the Storrier Stearns while Fuji was held in the internment camp. And this is the Japanese tea house. This is not the original one that was built. Unfortunately, it burned down, and this was rebuilt from the original plans in 1981. They do have tea ceremonies here, and they will have tea tastings here. Not tonight, though. Right outside the tea house is this camellia tree. This tree is special. It is a 2nd generation camellia tree from a camellia tree that survived the Hiroshima bombing in 1945. The tree was donated by Green something Hiroshima. They're a nonprofit organization who has made it their mission to spread the seeds and saplings of the trees that survived in Hiroshima with a message of hope and peace for a nuclear-free world. So, very worthy cause. On the other side of the tea house is the first of 2 koi ponds. Hello, little fish. You're a big fish. It's getting a little late here. I'm here on a Friday night where they have evening strolls until 8 p.m. and the sun has gone down. You can see some of the lights starting to come on. So it's really getting a beautiful glow to it. This is one of the original bridges that Fuji designed and had built for this garden. It leads to some seating areas and some walking paths. You cross another little bridge, and that leads you to this stone bridge. This little bridge separates the 2 koi ponds. It is not in a straight line because it keeps the spirits from following you. They can't follow jagged lines. So this is very cool, and it is a feature that you'll see in Chinese and Japanese gardens. This is the 2nd koi pond, and you can see behind me, this is a 20-foot waterfall. Just listening to it gives you a sense of serenity here in the gardens. Here's a view of the 2nd koi pond that I took earlier in the day. You can see the 2nd wooden bridge I crossed and the stone bridge. These stairs lead above the waterfall where you can get just a beautiful view of the entire gardens. Once you get up here, there's a bench that you can sit and just enjoy the sound of the waterfall, enjoy the shade, the serenity of the garden. This is pretty special. On the other side of the waterfall, you have this other little bridge that crosses over the pond, and then also another seating area over here. So I have about 15 minutes before they close and kick me out, and I brought my camera. I wanted to get some night shots, so I'm going to hopefully get a few night shots and share them with you if they're any good. This is a great place to come and visit if you're looking for how the rich lived in the early 20th century. This is an excellent example of that. Find your adventure. Thank you for watching.